Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy to have you guys here. So today we are going to be doing a beautiful reading. This is a reading that's going to touch your heart. It's going to touch your soul. Alright, this reading is about healing your inner child. Okay, this is going to be a message about what your inner child wants to say to you right now. Okay, so you will be seeing 3 piles in front of you. Alright, pick whichever pile is pulling you towards it. Pick the pile that is intuitively drawing you towards it. You can pick pile 1, pile 2 or pile 3, whatever's comfortable with you. Alright, take a good look at the piles and let's get into your reading now. See ya! Hey pile 1, so for those of you who chose pile 1, let's see what your inner child's message is for you right now. Okay, so the first card we have for you is the Queen of Cups, as how your inner child feels currently. Okay, so currently your inner child is feeling emotionally bottled up, pile 1. Okay, there's a sense of you suppressing emotions, or you have not been able to deal with emotions as much as you have wanted to. Okay, there could have been a lot of repressed emotions that, you know, sometimes come up suddenly, where maybe at times you feel like crying or you feel like releasing. At times you don't know why it is happening, why are you feeling that way, you know. But the emotions really take over sometimes, where you feel extremely moody, you could feel cranky. At times you could feel extremely creative, where, you know, you are pursuing certain things creatively for you. But then other times you feel like, you know, there's something missing emotionally. Like there's this emotional void within you that you are trying to understand, like, why is this happening? Why am I not emotionally fulfilled in my life? Okay, so there could be something regarding your emotions that your inner child wants to address in this particular reading. Okay, your inner child wants to tell you that it loves you. Okay, it unconditionally loves you. It is always there for you throughout your thick and thin. So whatever you have been through since your childhood, your inner child is that part of you which had to go through those things without knowing how to deal with those things. All right, and sometimes when we grow up, we don't have certain parents who can really teach us things, and that's because their parents never taught them certain things, right? So your inner child has empathy. All right, your inner child has a lot of wisdom, has a lot of innocence, but also a sense of understanding that sometimes you tend to suppress your emotions so that you don't look too vulnerable to the world. Sometimes you may, you know, have certain boundaries, certain walls towards people in order to protect yourself emotionally. Okay, because maybe you have dealt with a lot of people who emotionally manipulate you. Okay, emotionally try to gaslight you, right? So I do see your inner child currently feeling like it wants to give you that unconditional love, but it also wants to receive unconditional love. It feels like it lacks the reception of love, like you have never received the love that you truly have wanted to, and your inner child is coming through to give you a message with this reading about that. All right, that's coming through very strongly. You could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio as well. All right, so the next question I asked the deck was, what did you lack as a child, pile 1. All right, so what did you lack as a child, pile 1, is that you lacked a sense of feeling like you were at peace. Okay, there was constant chaos in some way or the other around you, where you dealt with either one or both of your parents being extremely harsh on you. Either they could have been harsh on you, and that made you repress a lot of emotions. Okay, and at times it made you hyper alert about your surroundings, about when is the ball going to fall on you next, when is something going to trigger some violence in your house, some kind of verbal abuse in your house. It could have been that as well, some kind of mental abuse as well. Okay, that triggered a lot of you feeling like you were very isolated, you were alone, that nobody could actually understand you, and that brought a lot of chaos in your life. You never had a moment where you could rest without fearing something might happen. Okay, like you were constantly in fear of something happening, something terrible happening around you, something going wrong in your life. Okay, it could have been your parents also broke your heart in some way, like that really hurt you on a very deep level emotionally. It could have been that as well. It's like a deep emotional scar that makes you at times act out with those emotions currently as well, right? Where you either repress your emotions completely and you feel moody and bottled up and suppressed, or you feel extremely emotional, where you're extremely sensitive to people and you get very cranky, very moody, very restless, right? And that's because you lacked rest as a child, that now you're emotionally restless. It's coming out in your emotions right now. Pile 1, okay? That's something that I'm picking up. So what left your inner child scarred, okay? What scarred your inner child? So we have the Wheel of Fortune here, okay? So something suddenly changing in your life. It could have been regarding your maybe where you were located. It could have been your finances. It could have been a separation between your parents, a completion of a cycle between your parents, where either you were brought up by a single parent, and that parent could have been really hard on you, or that parent could have been loving towards you, but the other parent was extremely harsh before your parent had to take the step to separate from the other parent. All right, take it however it relates, because I'm getting multiple downloads as I'm doing this reading for a lot of people, right? So take whatever instance is relating with you. But I feel like there was a sudden change either in your money, in your finances, because of this separation between your parents, that could have caused the single parent to be harsh on you, to be critical about you, to make you suppress your emotions, because maybe you used to cry a lot, or you used to feel extremely sensitive about the separation between your parents, right? And that really scarred you as a child, when things suddenly changed in your life, of your parents' separation, of a financial letdown, where there were certain finances that were taken away from you, or from your within your family. It could have been certain inheritance issues that was caused in that moment due to the sudden change in your life, which could have caused a lot of heartbreak, a lot of trauma, a lot of scarring emotionally for you, because you felt like you didn't deserve that money. Since then you have been carrying that wound, that you don't deserve love, you don't deserve abundance, okay? You don't deserve mental peace and rest. And that makes you at times emotionally act out, emotionally change and switch sides at times, feeling one way to feeling another way. At times there could be this shift in your emotions a lot, okay? That's something I'm picking up. Now, how is that affecting your life right now? We have the 5 of Swords for you. Pile 1, okay? 5 of Swords for you, as how is that affecting you right now? So I feel like right now there could be people in your family, maybe extended family, who take advantage of this pain that you have, okay? So for example, they knew that you are very nurturing, very emotionally sensitive, very loving, very kind as a child, right? They took advantage of that. So some of the family members could be very nice to your face, but then stab you in the back, or they could try to be very verbally abusive or mentally abusive towards you by giving you certain passive aggressive comments about your life, about your whatever it is that you're doing, or it could be certain tactics to throw you off your center. That's something that I'm picking up, because these people that you're attracting right now, Pile 1, are people that are resonating with the wound that you have not healed as your inner child, that had to go through these situations where you were extremely gullible and vulnerable and you didn't know how to protect yourself at that time. These people are taking advantage of that wound, okay? And until you heal that wound, these sharks are going to smell the blood on you and that wound of your heartbreak, and they are going to come to kind of keep eating you alive in some way, okay? That's the energy I'm picking up. And I know it sounds very like it sounds very brutal, okay? That's the word I'm getting. It sounds very brutal, but it's necessary, because your inner child wants to heal from this, so that it doesn't attract more such people who want to take advantage of your kindness, of your loving nature, of your nourishing nature towards others. All right, you're a very empathic person. You're a person who gives and gives and gives without wanting anything in return, and you still think, why are things not working out for you? And that's because you have not healed that wound in your inner child, which was extremely going through a lot of chaos, and somewhere things changed in your life suddenly due to your parents' separation, or parents being extremely harsh towards your emotions, not letting you express your emotions, shutting down your emotions to the point where you had to bottle them up to not appear weak in front of people. and that causes for you to attract such people in your life who keep bringing up your emotions and emotional triggers and trigger you emotionally by not giving you the love, just like your parents could not give you that love that you were giving to them, so that you can heal and know that you have to give yourself the love that you never received. Okay, you need to have that closure within yourself. Okay, you need to have that closure. That's very, very essential for your inner child right now. Okay, wow, that's very deep. So how is that affecting your life right now? We have the Hierophant in reverse, and we got two cards for you. We got the Tower in reverse and Hierophant in reverse. Okay, so how it is affecting your life right now, pile 1, is that you are realizing right now that either you are married currently and your marriage has broken. Basically, you have gone through a separation, you have gone through a divorce, and there could have been no closure about why things happened the way they did, but maybe the family that you were dealing with from your husband's side was very cruel towards you, was not really receptive to your love and your kindness. They took your love for granted and always demeaned you and made you feel as if you were the culprit, you were the problem all the time. You know, there could have been a lot of projection onto you, and your inner child wants you to know that this was not your fault, my loves. Pile 1, this is not your fault. What happened in your childhood was not your fault, right? And to give yourself that hug, that pat in the back, that warmth that your inner child needs, okay, it has been suppressed. Your inner child has been suppressing so much, and you have not given your inner child that love. You have constantly gone on with your life thinking that, okay, if I go with this person and have a relationship with this person, life will change. If I give enough love to this person, life will change. But no, have you really sat down and seen whether this person is actually giving you that love or not? Is this person reciprocating the love back to you or not? Right? And this is happening because somewhere there was a faulty foundation since your childhood, where the upbringing was not up to par, where your parents did not teach you how to be in a proper relationship because they themselves didn't learn that. And this is like an ancestral wound as well that you're dealing with right now. Okay, and there's a lack of closure from that wound that needs to be addressed. That is why the spread is coming through like this for you guys. Okay, so now we have okay, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so what can you do to heal your inner child right now, right? What can pile 1 do to heal their inner child right now? We have Star and Sideways. We'll keep it upright though. So Star, my loves, Star talks about you understanding that whatever endings have happened in your life, whatever has suddenly changed in your life, be it your finances, where you went from broke to being rich and then again broke, or you know, whatever it may be, it could be a separation from your parents that caused that has even caused a separation between you and your current partner, or whoever you're dating currently. You keep on, you know, facing heartbreaks from your partners, or your partners being mentally abusive towards you, right? You need to realize that that has happened so that you can love yourself, right? With the Star card, this is about you renewing yourself. This is about you rejuvenating yourself and restoring your faith and hope within yourself, that even though those things are things that you went through, it was not to break you but to make you. All right, it is to make you into a hopeful person, into a person with a lot of faith in God, in spirit, in the divine. Okay, it was to strengthen your connection with the divine and not to take you away from that. So if you have gone through these situations, it's important for you to heal from them, and healing comes with a sense of going within. All right, going within, taking a step back from life, taking a step back from giving to other people, taking a step back from reciprocating and replying to everyone else, and focusing on what you need personally, what your inner child needs personally, because your inner child has felt emotionally neglected and abused even by you, pile 1, and that has to be addressed so that these outer people cannot abuse you anymore. All right, that's something that's coming through. Your inner child has a message for you that it unconditionally loves you. It wants to give you that love that you are craving to receive. All right, my loves, this is a very, very emotional reading. Okay, very, very emotional. So let's see, how can you support your inner child? Okay, I'm getting something to do with waters as well. Okay, so going in nature, having some isolated moments with yourself, going in nature, doing things that your inner child loved doing when you were young. Now I know you went through a lot in your childhood, but there could be some good memories in your childhood that you can go back at. okay? And maybe it's very triggering for you, but that is where your healing lies, my loves. If you don't go back to this phase in your life where you went through a parental separation, where a parent was extremely harsh on you, if you don't go back to that, you will not be able to heal this wound, and you will keep attracting such people who are exactly like your parents, right? So that healing is extremely essential. Going into nature, meditating, okay, being alone, being a hermit, being in isolation, and taking your power back, okay, taking your emotions back, not giving it so freely, and giving it to yourself now, giving it to yourself. All right, you're very giving to others, but now is the time to give to yourself. So let's see, how can you support your inner child? How can you support your inner child? We have the Hangman in reverse, and we have Two of Wands, okay? I won't take the Two of Wands, but I get what this is trying to say. So this is saying, with the Hangman in reverse, that it's important for you to not accuse yourself for what has happened, okay? You need to support your inner child by not accusing yourself for everything that happened, for not blaming yourself for everything that happened. It was not your fault. It was out of your hands. It was a karmic lesson for you to learn in this lifetime. It is something that was destined to happen in your life, my loves. Okay, and the reason why it was destined to happen is because, again, of your past life karma, that your angels had to, give you that certain situation to deal with at a very young age. And I know it is very triggering. I know it was very difficult for you. But if you keep blaming that part of yourself that was so young that it did not know how to protect itself, it did not know how to save itself from certain mental abuse, certain maybe physical abuse, violence, whatever it may be that you went through, that suddenly scarred you, and it made you feel like that you don't deserve love, you don't deserve abundance, you don't deserve happiness. You have to stop believing in those things. You have to completely change your beliefs about yourself, about your broken foundations, okay? And stop blaming yourself for the marriage not working out, or a relationship not working out, or multiple relationships not working out. All right, yes, there are wounds, but they need healing. They don't need more and more blames upon yourself and self-internalization to the point where you feel extremely helpless. Okay, that's something that's coming through on how you can support your inner child. Okay, and letting your inner child be free, that inner childlike, goofy side of you that wants to play, that wants to have fun, that wants to cherish life, that wants to be in healthy, loving connections with people. Your inner child deserves that. Your inner child deserves that happiness. But the more you block that from happening, the more you are going to go through such painful lessons again and again until you integrate it. All right? Because I do see you are stuck in a cycle because of this. Okay? So what is a message from your inner child right now to you? Okay, we have Five of Wands, and at the bottom of the deck we have Two of Wands. Okay, so yeah, pile one, I feel like the message from your inner child right now is for you to understand that the conflict that is happening outside of you, the changes that are happening in your life, be it you fighting with others, others fighting with you, others constantly, jealous of what you have, or jealous of, whatever it is that you're doing in your life, or it could be other people who want to create certain fights with you in order to take away your mental peace and your mental rest. That is happening again because of this wound, and that fight is not something that you have to take part in, where you constantly have to defend yourself, you constantly are going at war in order to prove to someone that you are not at fault, that you are blameless, but then coming back in your room and feeling like all the blame is upon you, and you cry, and then you don't understand why you're feeling so weak, and then you call yourself weak. That has to end. That cycle has to end, otherwise it's a constant, right? So this is a message from your inner child. Your inner child is very conflicted right now. It feels like you don't listen to it. You don't listen to that goofy part of you, that part of you that's innocent, that's sweet, that's gullible, that's naive. You don't even listen to that part of it. You fight with it. You take up your swords and you stab it. Like, it's your inner child, pile one. You cannot be so aggressive with it. You cannot be so mean to it because your parents were, or because these family members or these friends or these lovers were. You cannot do that to yourself, and I will not allow that. Pile one. I'm not that kind of a reader who is like very, very neutral in reading. Sometimes I get very aggravated when my clients or people who are my subscribers, who are my soul family, when they are not able to handle their own energy in the most appropriate way. And your inner child deserves the love that you so freely give to others. Now stop giving to others and start giving to yourself. That's what your inner child wants. Be in isolation. Be alone by yourself for some time. Understand that the reason why you had to go through certain things is because of certain karmic lessons that you had to learn. And get closure with that. Everything is not your fault. Don't internalize it. Alright? Beautiful, my loves. So let's get a few more cards. I just want to see some emotion cards for you guys as to how will you feel once you start doing the inner child work. Okay? How will pile 1 feel once they start doing this inner child work? How will pile 1 feel once they start doing this inner child work pertaining to the spread? We have encouraged. Beautiful. Pile 1. I love that for you guys. Oh my God. So you are going to feel encouraged. I feel like you never felt encouraged in your childhood. Oh, my heart is like sinking right now. I feel like nobody ever encouraged you to do something good for yourself. Pile 1. You know, whenever you did something good, I don't think nobody gave you that pat on the back. That you did well, my love. You scored really well. I'm so proud of you. Nobody gave you that encouragement to keep going. It was very difficult for you. I can see that. Okay? But once you start focusing on the self-love, I see you being your parent. I see you encouraging yourself. If you have a child currently, I feel like it will help your children as well. It will help you be the best parent to your children. Maybe you are a single parent yourself and now you're realizing that this is what has happened in my life and I can't keep doing this to my children and I can't keep on carrying this generational ancestral wound in my life. I don't want to do this anymore. Right? Once you realize that, the game changes and now you are encouraging yourself, you are encouraging the people in your life by first giving that love to yourself, right? By being heartened towards yourself and by feeling supported through your inner child. Your inner child wants to also play around, I'm getting, with this girl, like on a cycle, okay? So some of you could love cycling or want to go cycling in nature. That will really help your inner child. Your inner child wants to go cycling. It wants to, just stop and maybe see a tree where the tree is bearing a fruit and just pluck a fruit and eat and enjoy itself, bask in the sun and just roll on the grass for one moment. Like, I'm just getting that for you guys. Pile 1. There has been no peace in your life. Can you give your inner child that peace? Can you give your children that peace? Can you live that peaceful life? That's what your inner child is asking of you. Okay? Wow, this is just, this has really, really been fulfilling for me to do this reading, I'm so glad I did this, honestly. So let's see. Let's get advice for you guys, okay? Spirit, what is the advice for pile 1? What is the advice for pile 1? What is the advice for pile 1? We have surrender frustration, pile 1, okay? Yes, again, this is that frustration that because you get frustrated with people around you, you get frustrated at yourself and your inner child suffers a lot due to that. There could be some anger issues, some emotions that you keep repressing. Spirit is asking you to be open emotionally and not to repress everything that you have gone through. If there are things that you have gone through, it's important for you to have an outlet for them, release them. Either open a YouTube channel, talk about it, open a podcast, talk about it, write a book about it. Translate those things and help other people with what you have gone through so that people don't feel alone when they're going through something that you have gone through. Pile 1, okay? Something like that is coming through. It says frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a break, center yourself and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly, alright? So there has been no calmness in your life, okay? Constantly something or the other is going on. So it's important for you to give yourself that space. All right? Beautiful. Let me get one last advice for you guys. So Spirit, any advice for pile 1 pertaining to the spread? Any advice for pile 1 pertaining to the spread? We have no place like home. Beautiful. Beautiful. I feel like once you start doing this work of healing your emotions, healing your inner child, doing what makes you feel emotionally nourished, which makes you feel loved, okay, by others, by yourself, whatever it may be, you will attract people who feel like home to you. You will attract a family that feels like you are home to them, like you are someone who's so nourishing that, you know, they will value that nourishment that you are providing without any jealousy towards it, without any, you know, wanting to abuse you for it, you know. And they will, you know, understand the conflicts that you have been through and be so grateful that even though you went through those conflicts, that you're so emotionally nourishing. Like, it will be something that is very valued by the people around you. You know, your friends will start feeling like home, your family will start feeling like home. No place like home, right? Your home will become a peaceful abode for you, your family, your lover, whoever it may be. Okay? Remember that, my loves. For zodiac signs, by the way, I'm seeing Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Libra. I'm seeing Sagittarius, Libra again. I'm seeing Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Pisces, and Leo. Alright, so let me read this for you. No place like home with the number 50. Authenticity, coming home to yourself, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit, being comfortable in your own skin. Home feels safe and secure. It's a comfortable place to rest and create, a place that is known and you can call yours. This card signals the ability to trust yourself and feel at home in your own skin. And that is beginning to solidify as you claim your dignity and integrity, aspects of yourself no one can take away from you. You know who you are, you hold your head high, yet with neither pride nor humility. Instead, you stand as the observer, seeing through the eyes of your soul. This puts you in a position of power and strength. Authenticity is your home. You are safe here, in the house of your spirit and spirit. Relationship message. Lovers, friends, and companion animals are at home in your life right now. You are in sync and full of love, and you can be secure in the knowledge that it is reciprocated. Relationships elicit a sense of emotional safety, comfort, and the best aspects of familiarity now. Be home in this relationship. Together you add to the love of the world. Okay, so pile 1, this is talking about once you start healing yourself, this is exactly what you're attracting. Okay, so surrender any kind of frustration that is not allowing you to feel encouraged in order to do this healing work for yourself. All right, and if you want to book a private reading with me, you can check out the description box below. I do provide that for, you know, diving deep into the healing aspect of this, as to what all you can do to heal from this. Okay. For your prosperity message, we have, when you act in an authentic way, you command the world to reflect back to you exactly what is in your highest good. Your business choices, the investments you make, and the creative projects you immerse yourself in are powerfully on point. Why? Because when you're fully yourself, radically accepting everything in your journey to date, both successes and failures, you will see the divinity in all things. Abundance is a natural progression when you experience this kind of authenticity, my loves. Okay, so it's very important for you to not have a fake persona towards anyone, for you to not negate your childhood experiences, and to be open with yourself about it first, so that eventually you can open up and talk to others about it, you know, get therapy about it, things like that. Okay, whatever it may be, or book a reading with me about it, whatever it may be. All right, that is what you're inviting once you start focusing on this star card, on this healing work. Okay, your inner child loves you unconditionally. It gives you warm hugs all the time. It is always there for you. It's just that you have been fighting with it. You have been in conflict with it because you had to grow up. You had to see a lot of things in life. You had to change a lot of times. Sudden shocking events changed you. And that's because of that scarring that changed you in your childhood. That needs that love and healing right now. All right? So make sure you give yourself that love, and this will change your life for the better, my loves. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in, pile 1. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. All right, if you resonated with this, I would really appreciate it. And you also get to connect with your soul family by doing that. Like this video also. And if you want to check out my description box for all the details regarding donating to my channel through PayPal link, or you want to donate oracle or tarot decks which are on my wish list, in the description box below. You can check all of that out. All right, also for booking a reading, all the details are given over there. All right, so thank you so much, my loves, and peace. All right, so for my pile 2, for those of you who chose pile 2, let's get into your reading and see what your inner child feels currently. How does your inner child feel currently for my pile 2? Pile 2, how does your inner child feel currently? We have the Judgment card. Okay, so currently, apologies my loves, but my mic keeps falling. Currently your inner child feels like it is being judged. Okay, like it is awakening to something about itself, about its life, about its purpose, about what it is here to do. all right? But there could be certain shame or certain criticisms that you have towards your inner child, which causes it to feel like it's judged, or it is condemned, or that it is put down by your own criticisms towards it. Okay, you could criticize the innocence within you, you could criticize that gullibility within you, that vulnerability within you. Okay, you can be very harsh towards your inner child sometimes, and the divine is asking you to liberate your inner child from that particular phase where you keep doing that to yourself, all right? Because it is a part of you that requires that love, that requires that healing, all right? And that is why you have been drawn to this reading here, pile 2, all right? So you could be a Scorpio, heavy Scorpio energy that I'm picking up here. You definitely hate the fact that your inner child is innocent, or that it is so gullible, or that it can be taken advantage of so easily. You hate your emotions and feelings sometimes, where at times you have not been able to control your feelings or emotions because of your inner child. So you criticize it, you tame it, you control it, so that you don't like show it easily, or other people don't see that part of you easily. Okay, you keep it in check by like tying it, or keeping it very restricted in the dark corners of your mind or of your soul. You know, you don't want it to be out at all. And Spirit is saying you got to look at this right now, before your inner child keeps attracting certain experiences for you which are not really helpful to you in the long run. Okay, this is an awakening. This reading is going to be a true awakening of your inner child. Okay, because I see a major change happening due to you recognizing these flaws about yourself right now through this reading. Okay, so what did you lack as a child? Pile 2. What did you lack as a child? What did you lack as a child? We have Page of Cups, or pile 2. Oh my God. Okay, so pile 2, you could have lacked a sense of feeling nurtured by either of your parents. You could have felt like you were very loving, you were very kind, you were very giving, you were very, very, you were very gentle is the word I'm getting. You were very gentle. You were also very creative. All right, but you lacked the love that you could receive from your parents with regards to that same level of love that you were giving them. Okay, maybe your parents were extremely harsh on your emotions, or your parents could have gone through a breakup or a separation, or your parents could have gone through a lot of chaos, a lot of fights between the both of them when you were with them. And there could have been certain ego clashes between your parents, specifically that I'm seeing, certain ego clashes that happened that caused for you to feel like, are you the reason for that? Are you the reason that your parents are going through that? Is it because you were born that your parents are suffering so much? Okay, some of you could have lost a parent. I'm so sorry, my loves. This is very deep. Some of you could have lost a parent while they gave birth to you. Okay, and you feel responsible for that. You feel responsible for loving them so deeply and realizing that they had to leave because you had to come in this world. And somewhere there's a self-hatred, a strong self-hatred that's coming towards your inner child because of this as well. Okay, take it how it relates, because I'm channeling for multiple people on this pile. Okay, so take the messages as they relate with you guys. But what you lacked as a child was that emotional, loving, reciprocal energy. You know, turning a new page in your emotions where people were equally reciprocal to you, the way you reciprocated their emotions. You felt like you lacked that completely. Okay, and that could have made you very harsh towards your emotions, like your emotions don't mean much because they don't actually bring you that love, you know, that you're giving out so easily. So you kind of are harsh on your inner child, you kind of tame your inner child, you control your inner child. Okay, you're very judgmental towards it because of that lacking energy. Okay, you also feel like your emotions are very unpredictable. You don't know when they might change or when they might, you know, switch or shift, and that makes you also very like you now control them, you tame them to the point of unnecessarily at times keeping yourself rigid in a certain judgment, right? That is something that's coming through. So something that left your inner child scarred, pile 2. Let's see. What left your inner child scarred? We have a King of Wands. I see an aggressive father. Could be an aggressive mother as well, take it how it relates. But an aggressive father or an aggressive parental figure, someone who was, who used to give nightmares to you or your mother or your family, this person was like outright like a devil or like a demon. You felt like this person was possessed by a demon. This person was hypersexual. I'm getting hypersexual, extremely aggressive, would be physically violent, and mentally very abusive. All right. And this person scarred you emotionally, pile 2. And that made you, I feel like whenever you expressed your emotions, this person would get triggered and like be violent towards you or be violent. There could be some drinking problem I'm hearing as well, okay? Some drinking problem either between your parents or some kind of addiction issues between your parents. Or you could have developed addiction issues due to your parents being extremely toxic towards each other, okay? This brought a lot of nightmares since you were young, like you couldn't sleep at night, you found it hard to sleep at night. I'm definitely seeing that. So this scarred your inner child, like this aggression that this parent brought in your life at this very early age, it scarred you. It was like this parent was very harsh on your emotions as well. Like this parent never respected your emotions or reciprocated them. They responded with anger towards your emotions, okay? And we have 2 of Cups in reverse, as how is that affecting your life right now? So pile 2, how this is affecting your life right now is you could be attracting relationships where you are the person who either manipulates the emotions of your partner, okay? On the toxic side, you have become that toxic person that your father was, for example, or you could attract such people who are extremely toxic, who are very abusive, physically, like they are lusting after you physically, but when it comes to love, they don't reciprocate that energy. Now this could be a lustful father that you could have dealt with towards your mother. They only wanted your mother for lust, but when it came to love, they never gave that love to your mother. Or this could be vice versa, where between your parents as well, where your mother could have been lustful, right? And your father wasn't. Something like that. So with the 2 of Cups in reverse, this is telling me that you keep attracting people who don't genuinely love you. They only lust you, or they only want you for a good time and not for a long time. Or they don't reciprocate the feelings that you have within yourself towards that person. Or sometimes even you don't have that. If you're on the toxic side, you don't have feelings for that person, and you try to manipulate with like your sexual energy. You try to manipulate your partners because you feel like your emotions were not reciprocated, so you judge your emotions by keeping them under check and you manipulate. Or you could attract such people who keep their emotions in check and manipulate you because you never valued your emotions, and you keep them under check and you give to others without giving to yourself, okay? Take it how it relates with you guys. So something that you can do in order to heal your inner child right now, pile 2. Okay, so something that you can do, pile 2, right now to heal your inner child is to not lie to yourself about what you're doing to yourself, okay? Because the divine is watching you very closely right now, especially your inner child. The divine is going to resurrect your inner child right now. No matter how harshly you judge it, no matter how harshly you see your emotions to the point that you completely, repress all those dark sides within yourself as well, okay? Because your emotions are that part of you which also require an outlet, also require reciprocity, also require a certain sense of safety and security, right? And somewhere when that is not found, you start becoming harsh towards it. And Spirit is saying for you to be honest to yourself about why are you doing that constantly to yourself? Why are you suppressing that childhood innocent part of you just to, take control of certain people in your life, or to repress your emotions and then, repress your emotions by going into relationships with attractive people or people who look attractive on the outside but don't have any love on the inside to give? How are you lying to yourself about doing these things just for the outward appearance of a relationship, but not really knowing the inner substance or what to do to have a strong inner substance to your relationship, where you both have a healthy relationship, where you both can grow and, evolve together? That is something that is coming through very strongly for you guys. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands here as well. This is about starting something brand new in your life, something that is passionate for you, but it runs out. The passion literally runs out once it's indulged into. So that is affecting your life in a major way, because there's no love, there's no true love, true reciprocity in your relationships. It doesn't have to be just in your love life. It could be in your friendships. It could be in your business as well, where if you want to collaborate, you're not able to really collaborate because you don't trust people. There's a lack of trust that's coming through very strongly, okay? It's like you feel like someone will get one up on you or one over on you, and at times you could hide certain aspects of your own motivations towards why you want a relationship, and that keeps you from attracting true love in your life, or true reciprocity in friendship, or true collaborations in your life. Something that's deep, that's meaningful, and it's something that you want. It's something that you truly want, and you are repressing your inner child. You're repressing that part of yourself that wants it. You keep on scolding it, you criticize it, but you don't look at yourself for how toxic you're being to yourself. And your inner child is kind of fed up with this as well. Your inner child is like, I really want you to look at me in a different way. It's been so long that you've not looked at me in a way where I could speak to you, where I could share with you what I have gone through since my childhood. And I've had to go through a lot, but sometimes you just turn away from me and you look at other people and other relationships, and you don't want to look at me. You don't want to look at what I want. And if you keep doing that, you will constantly attract people who don't look at their own inner child and their own emotions, and they don't want to face that part of themselves because they have been traumatized with that. You will keep attracting that, my loves, okay, pile 2. So let's see something that you can do to heal your inner child. I think that is something that we saw, right? No. Yeah, something that you can do, yeah. So how can you support your inner child right now? How can pile 2 support their inner child? And a message from your inner child. Give me a message from your inner child. Yeah, we have Queen of Coins. Okay, beautiful. So we'll keep this here and here. Okay, so pile 2. Your inner child is saying to you that the way to support your inner child right now is to nip it in the bud by understanding these are the traumas that are causing certain failed relationships in your life. Okay, they are causing sudden shifts, sudden endings in your life, and it's like a constant. It's happening with you constantly on a repeat, where either you're attracting those kind of relationships or you are being that person in relationships and you're still not happy about it, right? I don't think that is giving you that ultimate happiness, even if you're being toxic or you are attracting toxicity. It's not making you happy. So what is it that you need to do? The way for you to support yourself is to know that life comes with its ups and downs. When you were a child, you went through a downer. You went through a painful situation where either you blamed yourself for what you went through, or you blamed the God, or you blamed the divine, or whatever it may be. You blamed your emotions, you blamed your inner child, even though you know that your inner child is not responsible for what happened. It is what happened externally to you, and from people who were unaware about what they were doing towards you, and it's their fault. And I know you see it as their fault as well, but somewhere you need to understand that it was a part of your karma to go through that, because there are some past life remnants of your past life karma that had to be healed in this lifetime. So you had to go through certain wounds and traumas which could have been extremely excruciating and extremely painful, but it was for you to become stronger, to become a healthier version of yourself, to attract healthier relationships, to love yourself unconditionally, to not repress your emotions. And the more you keep repressing your emotions, the more you don't turn a new leaf in the chapter of your life, the more you will keep repeating these lessons until you learn that. You could go through certain financial debts, you could go through financial challenges, you could feel like you're not worthy, that you're not good enough, because these cycles keep repeating. You keep attracting the wrong people, you keep attracting the wrong relationships, people who are completely not compatible with you. Okay, and your inner child wants you to pay attention to that. Okay, so yeah, that's something that's coming through as well. And the way that you can support your inner child is by letting it know that you understand and you recognize that no matter what happened, that it was not your inner child's fault, and that you love your inner child, and that it was very painful, what you went through, I feel like it's very important for you to write a letter to your inner child. Okay, for pile 2, you need to write a letter to your inner child right now about how you feel towards it. Okay, how you felt about what happened in your childhood, and what do you feel towards your inner child. What do you feel towards that young person who had to go through that and was so brave to go through that, whatever it may be, right? And once you reconcile with that loving part of your heart, nothing can stop you, pile 2. No one can stop you. No toxic relationship, no toxic people, no toxic lies from manipulators, no toxic robbing, toxic people who steal the joy from your soul. None of those people will be able to affect you anymore. Okay? That is how you'll be able to support your inner child currently. And also a message from your inner child right now is that once you realize once you recognize this, your inner child is going to feel extremely proud, and your inner child will help you in taking over your life and giving you that willpower and that determination to make power moves in your life, to make powerful moves without doubting yourself in the process. Okay? There will be no self-doubt, there will be no, feelings of like, maybe you're doing something wrong, maybe something is wrong with you, or blaming yourself or putting yourself down because of these changes that have happened in your life. And you will feel worthy of the fortune that you're getting, you will feel worthy of the relationships that you have in your life, and you will start leveling up in your finances as well. I feel like your finances got majorly affected by this as well, because you're not doing anything emotionally, you're doing it for how it looks on the outside, or you're doing it based on just your passions without your emotions, and things could have been off balance because of that. And Spirit is saying it's time for you to elevate yourself and to love your inner child and to let it have fun sometimes. Give it that time of the day when you're watching cartoons, anime, or you're watching certain things from your inner child, or you're doing things that your childhood self wanted to do but it couldn't. It was scarred by this parent who was constantly being a threat in your life, giving you nightmares, right? That's something that's coming through very strongly. Okay, so let's see. Once you do this work, by the way, the zodiac signs are Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Cancer, Aquarius, Libra, Sagittarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. These are the signs, zodiac signs I'm saying for this pile. Okay, so let's see how will your inner child feel once you do this work that I have already advised you to do. How will your inner child feel once you do this work? We have confident. Ooh, I love that. Your inner child is going to give you a lot of confidence, pile 2. Okay, you're going to leap into uncharted territories. You're going to feel like you can take over the world. I feel like your confidence was also affected by this aggressive parent who tried to show you that they are confident, but actually they were like lacking confidence. They were very insecure about themselves. That is why they were so either hypersexual or overly sexual, or something to do with that. That has to be healed. Okay, you will feel very self-assured, you will feel courageous, and you will feel bold. That is exactly the Chariot card that I was talking about, where you will feel like you can take over the world. I was telling you that, right? You will make power moves. That is the confidence card. I was talking about that, okay? But for that, you have to stop lying to yourself. Do not lie to yourself. Have that breakthrough. Have the courage to go deep and dark into that dungeon and come out as this bright, confident self, okay? Be very self-assured about it. Be courageous and be bold. That is something that's coming through, okay? You're going to feel very, very empowered after this, okay? So let's get a few advice cards for you. Pile 2. What is the advice for pile 2, Spirit? What is the advice for pile 2? We have surrender to your full power, pile 2. Oh my God. What was I telling you guys? Yes. So it says here, your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. Okay. And you might have, kind of condensed your dreams, because you were controlled by your desire to control people. What was I telling you? That toxic side of yours is to desire to control people because of this toxic parent, or you could attract people who desire to control you. Why? Because you don't feel in control of yourself internally. You feel like your emotions are out of control at times, so you keep them shut, or you keep them like hidden, and you only lead with like passion, and Spirit is saying that your full power comes with your emotions, your passions, your mentality, and your willpower. That is your complete power, and also your spirituality as well. That is your full power. So do not play it small because of toxicity that you have faced in your childhood, and give your inner child that power to roar like a lion. Turn your inner child into that lion or the lioness. Okay? Your spirit guides are asking you to stop playing it small because of controlling people who try to, tame you. Okay, it says being overly controlling can sabotage your relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. All right. Sometimes you guys get obsessive over relationships to the point where either you end up controlling the situation too much to the point that it leads to disappointment, or it could be the other person trying to control you, and that makes you very much caged. Okay. So it's time to roar like a lion and get out of that. Okay. So let's get one final advice for my pile 2. Pile 2. What is the advice for pile 2, Spirit? What is the advice for pile 2? We have TikTok. Beautiful. Some of you could be like literally TikTok influencers, or if you want to start a TikTok channel, this is a great time for you to do so. Maybe talking about your inner child on TikTok, or doing some inner child videos on TikTok could be very, very healing for you. It will empower your inner child a lot. Okay, or just creating content just for the sake of it, right? So let me read this for you, my loves. We have number 30 could be significant for your pile. Okay, or 3 also could be a life path number or a birth date. All right, so let's read this. 30 could be an age also if I mention that. Okay, let's see. All right, TikTok, timelessness, divine timing, and immeasurable time. When humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future is ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, were happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire. So release your agenda. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them right on time. Alright, so relationship message. Love, the fulfillment of desire, and even the body's reproductive cycles have their own timetable. Some things are preordained and cannot be coerced. Everything has its season, its divine and appropriate timing, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Remember that you always have enough time for love, to find it, to nurture it, to give and receive it. Its clock is eternal and ticks according to the beating of your heart, in perfect rhythm. Isn't that wonderful to know? Love is always right on time. I feel like some of you, pile 2, could feel like, that you're running out of time in terms of finding true love. Some of you could feel like you're aging, or that, you have to find the right partner, and that's why you are looking at it with a lens that, you need to look attractive, you need to be attractive to be in love. And that is a very false narrative that your inner child wants you to know, that that's not true at all. Okay, you don't have to look young to fall in love. You don't have to be young to fall in love. No, it's not like that. You can fall in love at any age, at any time. This universe is filled with miracles, but the more routinely you have kept your life to be, the more you have closed yourself into a box. And Spirit is asking you to step into the timelessness of your power. Okay, your power is timeless. You don't have to limit yourself that, okay, this is only going to happen when this happens, and get out of that programming, pile 2. Okay, that's something that's coming through as well. And love is always right on time, so don't think that you have lost out on time. Okay, you are right on time. Now that you have seen this reading, now that you have gone through certain understandings that this is what has happened because this happened, and now I will be able to attract true love because now I know what to do, how to address my inner child and not suppress my feelings and emotions. I will know when to dive into my dreams and to fulfill my potential without feeling like I'm missing out on things or missing out on love. And once you focus on your purpose, on your life, on your mission, by the way, I do provide life purpose readings on my Etsy shop. If you are interested, check out this description box below. But yeah, so once you realize that, you will be able to completely release any shame or guilt associated with your emotions. Okay, and that will help you attract a beautiful, loving, healthy connection in your love life. Okay, prosperity message. Your prosperity is co-created by your endeavors as they occur in human-made time and the eternal efforts of your most important manifestation partner, Spirit, in divine measureless time. So keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive and make a commitment to remain in high vibrational thoughts and feelings. If you heed the message of this card, it will mean as if you will align with your highest calling and your highest good in no time at all, like magic. So what's all the fuss about not having enough time? The prosperous life that is yours will never pass you by. Okay? Yeah. Some of you have a fear of losing out on a loved one as well. Okay? There could be a fear of losing out because you don't get enough time with them, and so you completely avoid love altogether. That's also something that's coming through. Yeah. Now, trigger warning, another word that's coming through is someone could have dealt with self-harm or S word as well, like suicide as well, okay, in your family, okay. Yeah, that makes you play it small rather than, you know, being larger than life in your life, and your inner child wants to help you with that. So write that letter to your inner child, okay. It will be very empowering. I know it can be painful, but it's also going to be the healing that you are actually looking for, okay, my loves. Beautiful. So this is what I have for you, pile 2. If you enjoyed this, if you want a personal reading with me, check out the description box below. My Etsy link is given in the description box, along with my donation links for PayPal and my Amazon wish list for India as well as USA. So if you're from either of those countries, I have my wish list from there. You can gift me certain tarot decks or oracle decks from those wish lists, and I will be able to use them for your readings here. Alright, so thank you so much, my loves, and peace. Also, I'm getting the zodiac sign Leo, if I didn't mention that. Okay, so peace, my loves. Hi, pile 3. So for those of you who chose pile 3, let's dive into your reading and see what your inner child feels currently. Okay, let's see what your inner child feels currently for my pile 3. Pile 3, how does pile 3's inner child feel currently? How does pile 3's inner child feel currently? We have the devil in reverse. Interesting, pile 3. Okay, some of you could be Capricorns. Okay. So right now, pile 3, your inner child feels restricted in some way, okay? It feels like it is tied down in a few things that it doesn't like doing, okay? For example, maybe you could be into substances, you could be in some form of addictions or certain toxic relationships or certain toxic cycles that are no longer serving you. It could be you depending or codepending on someone or something else, and your inner child is honestly not liking it, and your inner child wants to revolt against that. Your inner child wants to be free of that toxicity. It wants to be free of the codependency. It wants to be free of the cycle of wanting validation from others. It wants to be free of any kind of substances that is holding itself back from true happiness. It wants to express itself and come out and be alive and play in your energy, but your energy field is not allowing it to be out. It constantly keeps your inner child in a position where it is subservient, where it is tamed, where it is like, you know, used as a slave. I'm hearing pile 3. Interesting. What does that mean? Okay, let's see, what is this talking about, spirit? So let's get another card. So what did you lack as a child, pile 2? What did you lack as a child? What did pile 3 lack as a child? We have 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh my God, my loves. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to know about this story, because it's really sad. It really is triggering, because I feel like as a child, you never got to experience a happy home, a happy family between your parents. You were either, you know, dealing with the quarreling between your parents, where they were constantly quarreling about money, or there was certain financial loss that you have had to go through, certain inheritance that was either stolen from you or taken away from you, or there could have been challenges in terms of how you grew up, you know, where maybe you grew up in a household that is well known or looks very good on the outside, but you have grown up on the inside and you saw like the cracks and the, you know, the problems within the foundations of that home. That is something that I'm picking up. So a lot of superficial energy on the outside, but a lack of nourishment and a lack of love on the inside between parents and the children and whatever it may be, right? Yeah, this could have caused a lot of you to feel like you were extremely restricted in your emotions, to the point where you felt like you have to depend on someone else in order to feel validated, in order to feel loved. You could constantly go from relationship to relationship to avoid your family or to contact your family. At times you could avoid, you know, letting your inner child out in front of your family or whatever it may be. That's because your parents were extremely, you know, money oriented, or like very toxic in terms of how they saw finances or how they dealt with finances. Your parents could have gone through a divorce due to finances as well. Or they keep on, they kept on saying that like they want to like divorce each other due to finances, okay? And that could have caused you to believe like that you never got to have a childhood in the first place, okay? This is a very strong Capricorn energy. So I will be shocked if like you don't have Capricorn in your chart somewhere, pile 3, okay? Very strong Capricorn energy. So yeah, so what you lacked as a child was you lacked a sense of belonging. You lacked a sense of feeling at home with your parents, or at home with, expressing yourself completely, or, showing your talents to your parents in a way, or expressing yourself completely as a creative or as a hardworking child, or whatever it may be, okay? Like your efforts were not reciprocated, your efforts were not acknowledged by your parents in some way, shape or form. Or maybe at times they did, but mostly they were focused on their own quarrels, on their own challenges, and you got swept up in that, okay? There could have been certain addiction or toxicity between your parents, where they used to have a lot of substances or substance abuse, or a lot of dependency on each other. Like maybe either your mother was very dependent on your father to the point that, your mother could have literally quit working because your father was making a living, and then they realized that the money was not even your father's to begin with, and the whole inheritance issues comes up, and toxic family members trying to be jealous of your family and taking what's yours. I'm picking up a lot of toxicity regards to money, and that could have caused a lot of substance abuse, which could have caused a neglect of you in your childhood, and that makes your inner child feel very like you bottle it up, you like control your inner child. You have told your inner child like, you will not dare talk to me and try to say anything to me, because when I was young, when I was gullible, I dealt with people who never respected my emotions, who never respected my opinions, or who never respected my talents, so I was either criticized, I was not taken seriously. So now I'm not going to take you seriously, because it's because of your innocence that I had to face that. And this is something that I'm picking up, that inner dialogue between you and your inner child, okay? So something that left your inner child scarred, let's see that. What left your inner child scarred? Pile 3. What left your inner child scarred? We have the Queen of Wands, okay? This could have been an external entity, or this could be your mother, or this could be someone in your family, okay? I'm picking up a joint family situation, so something about a family member who could have been extremely aggressive, jealous. This person could have been well known or something like that, and this person was constantly throwing a lot of negative magic also. I'm picking up spell work, magic, dark magic, all of those things towards your family, so that you will financially be unstable and you won't be able to speak up about it because of certain, well-known factors of your family being well-known or things like that, okay? Someone was trying to attack the base, the foundation of your finances in some way. So that made you feel like you were not worth anything, because even though you were rightfully supposed to get something, you never got it. And that has been what your childhood has been about, and your inner child is kind of feeling strangled in this whole process, because you're not able to let your creativity out, you're not able to depend on your family members or anyone else, because you see them taking very poor decisions in their life. So you feel like you can only depend on people who work hard, or external relationships that look very good on the outside or feel very good on the outside, but have a lack of foundation within, okay? That's what you're attracting in your life. And what left your inner child scarred is that you could have been commented on based on how your family is versus how you look like. You could have been ridiculed, you could have been shunned due to your family or your family values. It could have been also due to your beauty, and people were very, very jealous of your beauty, of your kindness, okay? So you could have been bullied in your childhood as well. That's something that's coming up, that scarred you. Your confidence could have shot down completely because of your inner child not being able to deal with the toxicity that you were dealing with since your childhood, where your parents were extremely tough on you because they didn't know how to even regulate their own emotions in the first place, right? So yeah, certain confidence issues, self-worth issues, not feeling good enough or good looking enough, or not feeling worthy enough, and that makes you constantly go towards other people in order to be in relationships with them, or to get some sort of love or validation from them for who you are as a person. Okay, or you could also go for the underdogs because you feel like you are an underdog. Okay, then we have the Nine of Wands for how that is affecting your life right now. So right now, pile 3, your life is being affected in a way where, yeah, with the Two of Cups in reverse and the Nine of Wands, it's telling me that you are dealing with a lot of boundaries. So either you could have a lot of boundaries either towards your family members or towards people who are disrespecting you, but also people who are good for you. I feel like you could have boundaries and not be able to discern like who's really good for you versus who's really bad for you. That's something that I'm picking up. Like you have walls towards people who are really good to you or good for you, or you could have ego issues as well, where you have developed a very strong ego to the point where you, like, you know, if a little thing triggers you about someone else, it's very difficult for you to look within about it, but you blame other people for it because of that ego that you have developed due to your childhood, in your childhood you being bullied, as well as you not being treated well by your family, and your family making poor financial decisions which made your confidence go down. So it makes you trust the wrong people and abandon the right people, or yeah, something like that. Okay, wow. So something that you can do to heal your inner child, pile 3, something that you can do to heal your inner child. We have 5 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I don't think you deal with your emotions very well, pile 3. It's very hard for you to let your emotions be, like, you know, come out, and Spirit is saying for you to let it out, you know. That's how you can heal your inner child, is by going through all those painful situations in your childhood, you know, doing that shadow work. Justice in reverse. Yeah, something of a criminal thing is also coming through. So you attracting like people who are having a criminal mindset, or people who are not really good for you, people who think from a very low energy, okay, like a very dark energy. You are attracting such people because you have dealt with a lot of dark people in your personal life, a lot of manipulation, like gaslighting, narcissists. You could have dealt with a lot of narcissists around you as well. So that caused your confidence to shake and you not being able to trust the right people, which keeps on attracting the wrong people to you. Okay, so Justice in reverse. Let me get one more card and then I'll explain what this means. So tell me about a message from your inner child as well for pile 3. We have 10 of Wands. Yeah, it's too much for you. It's a burden for you. All right. So regards to what you can do to heal your inner child is to let those emotions out that you could not when your parents were drinking, and when they were, you know, abusive towards you, or when they were extremely toxic, or, you know, they were verbally abusive, mentally abusive, physically abusive, whatever it may be, that caused them to be like that towards you, even though they were at fault about things. But because their own parents never taught them how to treat a child, they couldn't treat you as well as you really wanted them to. Okay, so it's important for you to address those emotions, and also for you to know that because of those toxic parental values that you were learning since you grew up and you saw people be in addictions and etc., you also went through a period where you got bullied in your school because your parents never taught you how to stand up for yourself, how to protect yourself, you know. So when you got bullied, you started, you know, developing this false sense of ego where, okay, fine, since I'm getting bullied, I need to protect myself. And it's a good thing that you learned that, but because of learning that, you have started rooting for the underdog because of the financial lack of decisions that your parents knew about and could handle, and you root for the underdog to the point where these underdogs come with criminal minds towards you, or come with a very psychotic mind towards you. And that's because, again, you have not dealt with those emotions of the past where you felt hurt when your parents treated you like that, when you were bullied and you felt hurt about it, but you never let your inner child reconcile the differences between you and it. You know, it is not your inner child's fault that you went through this. This was a part of your karmic lesson that you had to go through, but doesn't mean that you blame your inner child, your innocent part of yourself. It's a very vulnerable part of you, but if you completely shut it, tame it, and not give it that level of freedom to be itself, then this will keep happening in your life. okay? And you will keep attracting the wrong people who are not good for you, and you will have this false sense of superiority and the superiority complex, or something to do with, feeling that, whatever decisions you're making is the best for yourself because you're choosing it based on your impulsive decisions and your independence, but it's actually attracting the wrong kinds of people as well. So you need to keep that in mind as well, okay? And deal with those emotions head on, and do not try to kind of, brush it off. Like, don't do that. Deal with them, okay? Deal with them head on and let them come out. When you go in the memories in the past, write it down, journal about it. Journal about what you went through and how your inner child could have, faced that issue with a lot of bravery at that point. Give yourself that pat on the back that you went through that, alone by yourself. Nobody could have lived what you lived at that moment in time. So give yourself that pat on the back and don't avoid your emotions. I do see this 5 of Cups in reverse being that you completely stop your emotions from even appearing on your face. Like you are completely shut down whenever you are around people or around your family. You have a poker face, or like there's no emotions in you or something like that. But when you are with people who are maybe outsiders, or people who are friendly or whatever it may be, you could be really happy with them or jolly with them, and you feel like they are the underdogs and they have not treated you the way your family has, so they are the good people and your family is the bad people, or whatever it may be, right? It's causing you to kind of lack discernment, okay? And Spirit is asking you to address your inner child to heal that. And with the how can you support your inner child with the Justice in reverse is to give yourself that time to heal from these issues, and to not look at these issues as something that's too burdensome, or your innocence is too much, your emotions are too much for you. It's just so pile 3, like I was saying, that you could have dealt with also some criminals in your family, and you need to do some inner child healing with relating to that as well, and kind of dissecting their personalities and helping yourself in understanding how you can heal from that, and to understand that you are healing from that, okay? And to not look at it as something that's too much of a burden on yourself, okay? You could have dealt with something very unfair or unjust that happened to you, including your inheritance or something like that was taken away, or due to your financial the parents making a lack of discernment in their own financial life. That's why you tend to trust other people more than your family, because they could not really take care of things as you expected them to. Like you see your friends taking care of their own, your friends' family taking care of them. You don't see that happening in your life. It makes you very burdened. It makes you feel like looking away from your family, but that's not how you can heal this. If you are a part of a joint family and you know that your family loves you and they are trying to heal and they are trying to mend certain things in your life, then it's important for you to heal it with them. And if that's not possible, then you heal that for yourself, okay? You go within and you write those things down that happened to you, and then burn it away. That's something that I'm getting on a full moon, like just burn it away, okay? So a message from your inner child right now is that you don't even look at your inner child. You feel very burdened by it. You feel like every time you think about your inner child, or you feel about that you were so gullible, you were so innocent, you couldn't protect yourself, you couldn't save yourself. It's not the fault of your inner child, so please do not be hard on your inner child because of that. And please don't turn away from your inner child because of what it couldn't protect itself from. It was very young at that time, pile 3, so be that parent to your inner child that maybe your parents could never be to you, right? And that is how you will attract a successful relationship in your life as well. I do see that, okay? Until then, it's going to be very difficult for you to attract the right partner in your love life, okay? So let's see, how is your inner child going to feel, pile 3, once you start focusing on this advice, okay? Let's see, pile 3. By the way, the zodiac signs, I think I mentioned it. I didn't. Okay, so we have Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and we have Sagittarius again, yeah. Okay, we have how will your inner child feel was in reverse, wasn't it? Interesting, we have confused. And at the bottom of the deck, we have relieved, yeah. It makes sense, with the confused card, it's talking about whatever was disorienting you, whatever was confusing you in your life. Maybe there could have been a lot of confusions that you were dealing with in your present moment in your love life, or in your family life, or in your finances. Whatever confusion you were dealing with is going to dissipate, because I feel like you could have been feeling very disoriented or felt very puzzled about something in your life that is going on. Or it could be a relationship that confuses you. At times you feel like it's it's going good, and then suddenly something happens and you feel like, no, this is not what I want. So there is that confusion that is going to heal, because you will feel very relieved once you address that inner child. Look at this guy, helping the inner child with a toy, so maybe some of you love toys. Okay, so gift yourself a toy or keep some toys in your room. Spirit is saying that that toy will help you in reassuring yourself, soothe yourself, and feel that life is peaceful and life can be peaceful, and it doesn't have to be all chaotic and confusing and traumatic and puzzling. Okay, maybe you attract a lot of confused people or a lot of confusing situations, which is why you can't discern the right versus the wrong, or the good people versus the bad who are for you. So Spirit is saying to address the inner child, and once you do, you will be relieved. You will feel at ease with yourself. Okay, that's something that's coming through. All right, let's see, Spirit, any advice? So let's get some advice for you now. Any advice? Oh, that card literally fell over. Hold on. Yeah, so we got the surrender your belief in scarcity or scarcity, right? Scarcity, yeah, I don't know why I said scarcity, but okay. Surrender your belief in scarcity, pile 3, okay, which means that somewhere the belief in scarcity has happened due to you losing out on your fortune, or your parents not making the right decisions to support you since your childhood, and it has caused a void within you of not feeling secure, of not feeling supported by your family, not feeling taken care of by your family, and it created more of a dependency on the other people rather than on yourself, because you believe that the foundation could crumble at any time, so Spirit is asking you to surrender that belief, because that belief is causing you to attract people who are like underdogs, who are actually looking to level up through you in life, and that's because of your own belief in scarcity. Okay, you don't even know your power. You don't even know that how much abundance you can actually pull in once you address your inner child and its wounds. Okay, it says here the universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. Okay, infinite nature as in when you go in nature, when you see the grass, when you see the trees, when you see the fish, when you see the variety in nature. Do you feel that there is a lack in anything? No, right? So abundance is the same way. Money is the same way. It's infinite. Okay, it never ends. So stop believing in scarcity. Stop believing that you won't be able to make enough, or not being able to rely on yourself to make enough. That's a belief in scarcity that you need to let go of, because of the programming of your parents that has happened in your life. Okay, and also you could have developed, due to the scarcity energy, you could have developed a people pleasing habit as well. Okay, a habit of people pleasing, and a habit of speaking your needs, and kind of not being able to speak your needs actually, but to please others. Please others, always be reciprocal to others, but not knowing what you need. So it says speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy, right? So I think that void that developed in your life in terms of that unstable home situation caused you to kind of people please and to please other people, rather than going deep within yourself and self introspecting on yourself. All right, which could have again caused for lower entities to be attracted towards you. So it's very important for you to surrender your belief in scarcity. I also feel like there was a lot of dark magic or things like that being done towards you, to make you feel less than, or to make you feel like you need to trust people who are not good for you and things like that. Okay, so it's very important to cleanse your energy. Okay, cleanse your energy of that curse that has been sent towards you in some way. Okay, higher power is with you as well. Okay, higher power is with you. So Spirit, what is the advice for pile 3? What is the advice? Spirit, what is the advice for pile 3 pertaining to this spread? We have unfinished symphony. Beautiful. Some of you are extremely talented, creative when it comes to your ability to maybe sing, okay, paint, draw, and your inner child wants you to tap into that. Look at this. This is your inner child literally on a planet alone, and there's like keyboard here. Some of you want to learn the keyboard, or some of you want to learn an instrument, whatever instrument it may be. Okay, it will be very essential for you to get out of this confusing energy and this scarcity energy by focusing on your creativity. Okay, your creativity will enliven and will get your inner child back into action. Okay, that's something I'm getting also. So let me get the booklet for the advice. Okay, let's see. Unfinished symphony number 10. When you were 10 years old, something significant could have happened. Okay, or one could be your life path number, or could be your birth date. Okay, so let's see, 10. All right, unfinished symphony. unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, the need to make amends. This is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or skill. Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. Moving on is difficult when love lingers, things are left unsaid, and you haven't had the opportunity for closure in your relationship and in your heart. You can still feel bound up in relationships when closure is denied you. It's important to achieve this for yourself. Write that letter, make that call, or have that conversation over a cup of coffee. For peace of mind, accept matters as they are, make amends if need be, and declare your feelings even if only to yourself. Be clear about what was left unresolved and close the door on the past so you can set yourself free. Only then can new love blossom. So maybe some of you are releasing someone from the past, or the relationships have been quite toxic, and maybe you have not understood how to discern between the right and the wrong relationship, and so there's someone from the past who just left out of the blue because of something negative happening to them, or something negative that they did themselves that happened. And now I feel like you could be feeling extremely, like there's something unfinished there. So Spirit is asking you to give that closure to yourself, okay, so that new love can blossom. Until then, new love and getting into a new love is not a good idea, okay, until you get that closure for yourself. Okay, healing is very, very important. Prosperity message. Make sure you complete projects now before starting new ones. Perhaps you have created something special that will increase your sense of abundance and bring you opportunities for wealth. However, if you don't see it through, it won't add up to anything but more clutter. Now is the time to put your nose to the grindstone and complete the tasks that have accumulated. Pay your bills, sign the documents, do your filing, hand in the assignment, complete a work of art. Tie up loose ends so you can move forward with surety, knowing you are on the prosperous path and feeling refreshed and excited about the future. Right, my love? So I think somewhere that belief in scarcity will also heal once you start to finish what you have started. Okay, that is something coming through very strongly for your reading. You need to complete what you start. You cannot just leave one thing and move on to the other thing and then think that things will be fine. You have to heal that, and for that you have to look at your inner child. You have to give your inner child that closure. You have to tell your inner child that whatever was unfinished between you and your previous lover, you and your partners, you and your people in your family, whatever it may be, or you being bullied, right? Write a letter to yourself about that and how it made you feel. But how can you nourish your inner child after going through that? Okay, so that you don't have to be poker faced all the time. That is too much of a burden, my loves. Okay, that your beautiful, delicate shoulders should not be able to bear. Okay, should not be allowed to bear. All right, so thank you so much, my loves. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want a private booking or private reading, check out the description box below, along with my PayPal link for donations. If you feel extra generous, you can donate to me as well, and there are my Amazon links in the description box in case you want to donate tarot decks or oracle decks to me as well, if you're from USA as well as India. All right, so thank you so much and peace.